guys, what's up? It's Anna and welcome to my world. Today's video I am honestly so beyond excited for because oh my gosh, look what we have here. We have the new Revolution and Friends collection and I'm so excited. So just for a little preface, my birthday was September the 12th. I turned 23 and I went to Ulta and then I saw that they had these and I had no idea these were even a thing. Didn't know they were coming out or anything like that. And I tried to look them up to see everything about the collection and there really wasn't much to see. And it didn't even say that the collection was supposed to come out until I believe like the 15th of September. And so I was like, did my Ulta like put these out too early or what? I don't know, but I'm glad they did if they did because I am so excited about these. Friends is one of my top favorite TV shows of all time. They didn't have everything in the collection, so today all I have is 2 of the eyeshadow palettes, but I did order more off the Revolution website, so those will be in soon and I'll do another tutorial on those, but I'll talk more about all this when we get into the video. But if you are interested in seeing a little review tutorial over the Friends and Makeup Revolution, or I think they just go by Revolution now, but Revolution makeup collection, then keep on watching today's video. All right, you guys, so I already have my eyes primed. I do have lash extensions on and I have the 2 palettes ready. Of course, I have the big palette, which is the one that just says Friends, the television series, and Revolutions, the one with palette. And this is heavy as heck, you guys. This is made out of tin, so this is a really good packaging and material. Here's what it looks like on the inside. So you have a lot of different shades, and then in the middle you get these 3 highlight shades that are really nice. The names of these are wonderful. They are literally like all the names of any character that you would ever know on the series pretty much. And so I really love that. And then look at the mirror, guys. This mirror is huge. So this is so nice, such good quality. And they came out with 3 mini palettes for each of the top 3 female Friends characters, Monica, Phoebe, and Rachel. So I chose to get the Phoebe palette just because I liked the colors in there, I think, the most, because it's someone like me who has so many different eyeshadow palettes. I feel like I had more of the shades of the other ones. And this has the taxi for Phoebe. Of course, it says Phoebe. Now this is just a little cardboard palette, so nothing too crazy. And then inside you get 9 shades, mixes with shimmers, mattes, and this one amazing glitter color shade. Color shade. That's what you get here. So this is obviously not as like fancy packaging as the big one, but these are so nice and the pictures on them are amazing in my opinion. So that's what you get with those. The big palette at Ulta is $28. The little palette at Ulta was $12, but when I went to order the other stuff on Makeup Revolution or just Revolution, this was $20 and the little ones were $8. So that's kind of like the price point, but let's go ahead and get into this tutorial slash review. I'm gonna mainly be using out of this one, but I will dabble into a little bit from Phoebe's. So I'm gonna go ahead and open them, and I will tell you exactly what I'm using when I do it, but I will show a picture on the screen and kind of circle the shades because it'll be a lot easier than trying to like maneuver it, like hold it up and all that kind of stuff. So the first shade, let's see. I'm gonna do a look that's kind of like a pinky sunset look that I did. One of the first looks that I did whenever I got this palette. So that's what I'm gonna do. And first shade I believe that I'm gonna go in with is actually from the Phoebe palette, and it is Ice. So it's just a matte brown kind of color. I'm just gonna use this little cheap mirror here because as much as I love the big mirror in the big palette, it is a heavy palette. So I'm just gonna buff that into my crease because I want just a good light brown to start off with, you know, as a transition color for the other colors that I will be putting into my eye. But yeah, Friends is 100% one of my top favorite TV shows. I was born in the 90s and I was a 90s toddler kid through and through, and I have a huge significance to Friends. Literally, if I see something and it's Friends, I'm pretty much going to get it. Alright, so I went in with the Ice shade from the Phoebe palette. Now I'm going to go ahead and get in to the big palette here. And the first shade I'm going to go in with is Julie, and that is a really bright pinky color. So I'm going to go ahead and go in and build up that color in my crease. Because I have played with the palette for a couple of days now, I will say that the bigger palette, I feel like the colors do have more pigment to them and things like that. Of course, there are more color in the big palette, so I mean, it's probably gonna be a little bit more pigmented anyway, if that makes any type of sense. Nah, I really don't think that really made a lot of sense, did it? Made sense in my mind though. But as I was saying before, if there's something that's Friends, I will get it. Like, I already have, let's see, I think, okay, a pair of Friends pajamas. I have a Friends sweatshirt. I have a Friends cookie jar at my house. I have, let's see, I did my nails Friends themed once recently. I feel like I have 2 Friends shirts. I think I do, honestly. I don't know. Anyway, I really love it, and I do have a lot of significance to Friends because it was my mom's favorite TV show of all time. So as a little girl, I heard a lot about it. I didn't watch it as a little bitty girl, but I did hear a lot about it from her. So this look, by the way, will be pretty simple, but it is so beautiful. So the next shade we're gonna go in with is actually a shimmer color, and it's gonna be Mindy. One thing I love about these palettes is the shimmer colors are honestly really unique, and you probably can't tell straight away from just looking at it, but they truly are. Like the flexes in them and just the little like grains of glitter, it just they pull off different colors that makes them unique, and that's what I truly love about the palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my brush and dampen it down with some setting spray because it's gonna make those shimmers pop. So I highly recommend you do that too. So I'm just gonna take the Seal the Deal Flower setting spray here, and then I'm gonna get some of Mindy on my brush, and then I'm gonna spray it over my sink here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put it on. Now this color pulls a lot more peachy coral, but it looks so nice with the pink. And I'm just gonna carve out my lid kind of here and just put it all over. But yeah, as I was saying, this was my mom's favorite TV show, so I heard a lot about it as a kid, but as a little bitty girl, I of course didn't watch it, like pay attention, although I know I would be sitting there with my mom while she watched it. But also as a little girl, it made me kind of embarrassed, like the kissing and all that kind of stuff, because I was like, I don't know, embarrassed. Were any of you like that when you were little? I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. But I do remember that, and even to this day, my mom has never seen the very last episode, which I'm like, well, it's not on Netflix anymore, but when it was, I was like, it's on Netflix, I can let you watch it. Because I have Netflix, but we don't at like my parents' house. But anyway, I am a 90s child through and through. The 90s / early 2000s are a huge part of my life because I am a big sucker for just reminiscing, I guess you could say. One of my favorite time periods, 100%. But now I do have this on my eyelids, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with my second color, which is going to be Mike, which is Paul Rudd's character in Friends. I love Paul Rudd with my whole heart and soul. For my birthday, my husband actually got me a mug with Paul Rudd on it as like an inside joke. Like, it was perfect the way, the picture that was on the mug, it was perfect. But I love Paul Rudd. I love watching movies with Paul Rudd. Anything Paul Rudd, I love it. So I love that there is a shade for him in this palette. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that, dampen my brush again. And I'm gonna put this right on the inner corner area and like bring it up into like the first little chunk of my lid. And that color is kind of like obviously like a goldy kind of color, but it has a little bit of a different flex in it. It's more of a yellowy gold, but muted. I don't know if I'm explaining that good enough, but and so that mixed with the coral, mixed with the hot pink in the like crease area, is gonna make it look like a sunset, pretty much like a Tahiti sunset tropical kind of vibe. So yeah, there's a little bit of that. Okay, and now I'm just gonna go in with a more dense, small like brush that I would use for my outer corner. And I'm gonna go in with Mr. Geller, and Mr. Geller is like a dark brown that is like perfect for the outer corner of your eye for any look. So I'm just gonna put like the smallest bit just to give a little bit of depth for the outer corner. Literally not much at all, like you probably wouldn't even be able to tell. And I'm barely gonna dip it into Paolo as well. Just get it right in the outer part. And that is that. So I love this. Like I said, all together it looks like a beautiful sunset vibe, and I think the colors mesh really nice together. Perfect for summer and even for the beginnings of fall, because the colors just, I think that they are very versatile. So what I'm going to do now is put on a little bit of liner and clean up my under eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, so very fast for liner, I'm going to go in with this KVD Vegan Beauty liner here, and I'm just going to do that really fast, like the smallest wing with this. Okay, yeah, so it's so small you're probably not even going to be able to really tell with the eyelash extensions, but I always have to have a little bit of liner no matter what. So that's the eye portion done. Like I said, today all I have is the 2 eyeshadow, well, and we will do the under eyes, but like I said, all I have is 2 eyeshadow palettes, but I do have more of the collection coming in very soon. It is from the UK because Revolution is a UK based brand, so it may take a while, I'm not really for sure. But anyway, back with the combo, and let's move on to face. So for my face, I'm just going to prime with this Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray. It's a setting spray, but I'm using it as a primer because I don't like the spray on it. So I just use it for primer, so I know it won't like put big drops on my face. And it's also very tacky, which is really good for your face. Anything that's really tacky is always really good, because it's gonna help that foundation adhere. So that's why I like doing that. Okay, so for today I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation first. I just got this to try out, and I do not think I like it at all. So this is like the 3rd time I've even tried this out, and then after that I'm just going to probably return it because like I'm going to give it a little bit of time to see if I like it, but I just don't think I do. It just doesn't have enough coverage like my Fenty one, and it's not as luminous, and it doesn't look as good on the skin. Like this one kind of just sits on the skin and looks dry under my under eyes is what I at least think. That's my opinion of it. The only reason why I got something different anyway from the Fenty Beauty one was because the Fenty one, the hydrating specifically, the smell just gets to me. It just really gets to me, you guys. So I was like, I really wanted to try the Anastasia one, and hope that it would be better, because it was supposed to be similar, but it's just not. Alright, and then because I just can't kind of live without this one, even though the smell sucks, I always put, or I have been, that is, putting a little bit of drop of the Fenty Beauty hydrating one on as well. So like I just dab like the smallest of the dots and then blend it in to give me a little bit more color and a little bit of that finish that I really like on top of the other one. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It also does not set well between my nose. I don't know how well you can tell that on camera. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is do my brows and then off camera, and then I'll be right back to finish up the face. Alright, you guys, so the brows are done. All I used was the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil and the Essence Make Me Brow Gel. And so now it's time to go ahead and move on to concealer. I'm going to use the Tarte Shade Tape because I like something that is very, very full coverage. And I'm pretty much out of the one that I've been loving the most recently, which is the Lasting Perfection Collection, I believe is what it is basically called, I think. And it is out of the UK, so I can't get it. The only reason I had it before was because my really good friend who lives in the UK brought it to me when she came to America to try. So unfortunately I can't get it anymore, and I've fallen in love with it. But anyway, as I was saying, I grew up in the 90s, early 2000s. I was born in the late 90s, so I was a toddler for like the 90s and a child for like all the early 2000s portion. And one thing that I do consider myself lucky with is that my sister is way older than me. So in the 90s / early 2000s, she was a teenager, so she listened to all the good music, all the 90s and early 2000s shows. So being little, whereas if I was just me, like being a little kid and only watching little kids things, luckily I was in her room all the time, and we would be listening to like the good 90s, early 2000s music and the early 2000s, 90s TV shows, like, and really late 80s, 90s TV shows as far as that goes. And luckily I was, you know, brought up watching that stuff. So even though I was little in the late 90s and then was growing up as a kid in the early 2000s, luckily I got to experience the really good music and the TV shows and stuff from it because of my older sister. So I definitely am like glad and proud about that, because like it just wasn't like little kid shows all the time. And I mean, I still adore the music and the TV shows to this day. Like I said, I'm very nostalgic. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm really nostalgic, and some of my favorite music is the 90s, early 2000s pop, all that good stuff, and it just brings me back to when I was little, and I love it. And it's still, like I said, some of my absolute favorites, so I'll listen to it all day long, literally, because I do love it so much. But anyway, we're going to go in with the Fenty cream bronzer in the shade 03 Macchiato. And what I like to do is go in with these cream products first, and then I'll put some powder like over them, so that's what we're going to be doing. But back to Friends, I'm curious onto who your favorite Friends characters are, because the thing is I don't dislike any of them, and I'm in love with all of them. And for me, I feel like I'm a mixture of all three of the girls. Like, I honestly couldn't tell you, you know? Like, I feel like I'm mostly a mixture of Phoebe and Rachel. And then I love all the guys. Although I will say Chandler and Joey are ultimately my favorite guys. And then my favorite relationship is Monica and Chandler, with a very nice shout out to Mike and Phoebe. But like in general, Chandler and Monica, favorite relationships. Literally love the ones where they're getting together so much. And does anyone feel bad for that one time when Joey really liked Rachel? Because I do. I hate that. Like, it broke my heart how he like really liked Rachel, but then, you know, wasn't the same. And then they did get together, but like obviously Ross and Rachel were meant for each other. I don't know, those were hard. All right, so now that I have my cream bronzer and blush on, by the way, the blush was also the cream blush by Fenty Beauty, and that one was in, what was it called? Wild Berry, I think that's what it was. But I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the Hoola bronzer now, which is obviously powder bronzer, to go over where I put the cream, and it just kind of sets it down and also gives me even more coverage, because I like a lot of bronzer personally because I'm pale and getting paler because my tan is pretty much gone. So I'm just going to warm up around the perimeters here. But Friends is also one of those TV shows that I can watch through and through and never get tired of it. It's been there for me through some really dark days, and I just love it every single episode. It's also one that never fails to make me laugh, and I just will never get tired of them. Truly never. All right, and then I'm gonna pop the slightest bit of the Essence Mosaic blush on top, just to, like I said, set where I had the cream blush down. I don't want to like overload it though, you know. Okay, and now for highlight. Luckily, like I said, there are two highlight shades in the palette, which is great, so that's what we're going to use. But first, I'm going to set my face down with what we have so far with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray, if I can get that out. And that's just because I want some dampness on my face for these highlights, because just like with the shadows, if you have your face damp before, it's going to bring out the highlight or slash bring out the shadows even more. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Ooh, and that feels good on my skin too, because I'm starting to get hot. All right, and before that gets a time to set, I'm going to go in with the two lightest shades. So Ugly Naked Guy and, what is it, Mr. Heckles. And just pop them on. I don't know if you can tell that well, but yeah, they do look really nice. And I love the two highlight shades as well, because they're more of like a champagne and then a icy color, which I prefer any day over gold. I actually do not like gold highlights. And then the other highlight shade is too dark for me. Just gonna bring it down the nose. Gosh, I love that they named one Ugly Naked Guy. Like, that's everything. I love it. And now it's time to finish up the eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray the brush that I'm gonna use for my eyes and do the highlight too for like my inner corner and brow bone. Once again, using Mr. was it Heckles? Yeah, Mr. Heckles and Ugly Naked Guy. And then I'm also going to use Smelly Cat from the Phoebe palette and put there too, because really I think Smelly Cat looks the prettiest for the inner corner. And then the brow bone. Alright, so now for the shadows, we're just going to go ahead and run Julie, which is that hot pink that is the main one, in the crease under my eyes. I don't want a lot under here, so like I'm just going to do it very light. see, like not anything crazy. Then I'm going to take just the smallest bit of mic on the inner corner part, connecting it to the pink. Alrighty, and that is it for the eyes. I love them. Like I said, it's just a beautiful sunset kind of look. And now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is spray down my face again with a different setting spray. This time going with the Milani Make It Last Fruit Fetish Collection in watermelon or kiwi watermelon. Now I hate the spray on this. It's another one of those. It's gonna literally pour off your face, but I'm trying to use this up because I don't want to waste it. So let me just hold it back like freaking far as heck. Feels good, but I make the most terrible faces. I'm just gonna fan it dry because that's literally what you have to do. And then I'm actually going to put a little bit of mascara over my lash extensions just to make them even more long because they're really not as long as I like them. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I'm usually not a mascara person for the fact that I wear falsies every day and I only need a little bit to blend in the falsies with my natural lashes. So I live off the mini ones. So I'm using the Urban Decay Precision. Is that what it's called? No, Perversion. Urban Decay Perversion mascara. And I'm just gonna put it over my lashes a little because they ain't big enough. Okay, and then on my lower lashes, yeah, I'm totally not liking the way my skin looks up close. I don't know how it's gonna pull off on camera, but that mascara, that foundation, nope, it's not it. It's just getting returned. My skin just looks dry and like I don't even try when I spend tons of money in skincare and I know my skin is healthy and I try really hard, so not cool foundation. Okay, finally we're gonna do lips and I'm gonna use basically what is left of my favorite lip liner, which is the Milani lip liner in number 4, which is I think all natural. So that's what I'm gonna put on my lips. It's gonna really match this eye color because it's pink but it's also nude, so it really goes together. Okay, and now that I have that on, we're just gonna go on with a gloss on top because I love a glossy lip. It's all I ever wear. I'll put anything underneath, but a gloss always has to go on top. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. I think the packaging is so pretty. These are pretty much brand new, and this is an 03 or 003 Moon, and I love that shade name, which is part of the reason why I bought this one. It's just a beautiful pinky nude color with some sparkle. And there we go. Okay, and then this is the final look. So my skin looks nice and glowy. Of course, in person, like I said, I don't like how the foundation looks, but we're basically here for the eyes. So pay attention to the eyes. I love them. Like I said, Sunset Tahiti also can go into a fall kind of look. Super pretty. One of my favorite looks with the palette. And I will be coming up with the next look too for the next video, so let me know down below also if you have like any ideas of what you'd rather see in the next video. But yeah, I am absolutely in love with the look and I hope you are too. So yeah, you guys, that is it for this Friends in Revolution review collection video. Of course, I reviewed the big palette and the little Phoebe palette. Like I've said before, I will be getting more of this collection in the mail soon, so I'll do another video on the rest of that, but I wanted to go ahead and get this one up for you guys. I love it simply just because it's Friends, and beyond that, the formula is really nice. Of course, it's not the greatest because these are cheaper shadows. This is a drugstore kind of brand, but I definitely think the quality of the larger palette is better than the little palette. But no matter what, they're all worth the money. I just think that the shimmers are better in the bigger palette. But this one, honestly, the Phoebe palette is solely worth it for Science Boy because of the crazy glitter that it is. It's amazing. It's great for like going out or whatever you want it for, because I would wear it on a day-to-day basis. But all in all, they're great. With the shimmers, definitely want to spray it down first, like with the setting spray. It's going to make it a lot more pigmented. But with that being said, I freaking love it and I can't wait for the rest to come in. Let me know down below what you think about the collection, if you've gotten anything or if you want to. Also, let me know down below who's your favorite character or characters on Friends. I would love to know. And other than that, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content like this and other things. I do so much here on this channel, so definitely subscribe. You can do that by hitting my face right up there, and you can watch another one of my videos by clicking right over there. And other than that, I hope you have a great day or night or whenever you may be watching this, and I'll see you guys in my next video.